Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League here, Season 20 here for the Tier 3 Belgian Grand Prix at the Ardennes Forest in the second track of the Land of Trees. Here at the Spa-Francorchamps. Another news, Maldi's out because he bottled it already on his outlap, on his first outlap. Just put it out there. Who just went quick? Facitas? Yes. 44.7 on a set of mediums. Not great. Not amazing. To be honest, on a set of mediums. I think he's going for another lap here. Cargo coming on pole. Viper. She's gone 12 thousandths down on Viper. Oh, and that's a terrible line by Facitas there. Oh, and he's got a bit wide there as well. Not good. Not good for that line. But yeah, another news. Mazepin is not here today, so we should hopefully have an exciting race on our hands. As long as people don't keep crashing. So yeah. Mazepin today, so you'll give us everyone else a bit of a chance to find a race victory. Unfortunately, Maldi can't capitalise on that. So we get for bidding and get it ready on. I mean, even when I raced yesterday and in wet conditions on slicks, I still managed to make it spin and still keep it at the barriers. Anyway, Facitas, looks like he's continuing on with this lap. He didn't use much of the track there. Probably scudded off a little bit too much speed into the bottom chicane, and he's going straight to the pits. Oh, and that was close. I thought his wheels gripped off there. Yeah, but that was just 4 tenths up on the center mediums. Might get Mastor and Lomlin here. Nope. Lost 3 tenths to the last sector. Young not up. Always seems to struggle with his qualifying laps. Young does. Scorch off the ride behind. Don't think he's on a lap. Chase Mastor, and he is on a lap. But I need to be careful for that. Purple sector. Purple second sector for Matador. I'm not so sure about that. Really not so sure about that. Anyway, it's another session memo with this. It's not the first time he's disconnected from this race. Oh, this qualifying session, sorry. Didn't mean what he's stick down here. Oh, and I think that Alpine's just got in the way there. That would be good. I can't invite Mo to the game, so I don't know. Anyway, Kazakh still 12 thousandths off Cargo, starting a lap here, it's got on board of him. Alpha Erosion ready on, scrub as little speed as possible, straight line didn't much possible. Don't cut the left hander, very easy to do so. DRS open as soon as possible. Now, find that braking point as Cargo retires. That's his qualifying over. Oh, watch out, his car's on the circuit coming on here. Oh, is he going to get in the way? Oh, yes it is! And he's took a Kazakh out of the qualifying session. And that's Cargo's AI, and honestly, I've got to be personally honest here. That's going to be a penalty coming Cargo's way. You can't retire. You can't on the circuit like that, especially when there's somebody coming from behind. So that's unfortunate for Kazakh. Tops with any sort of pole position because he's got damage now. So I don't know what to say about that, but it looks like Cargo should be retiring on circuit like that. And it's caused a collision. 9 minutes. Oh, talk about collisions. That was in the barrier. She's got some minor front wing damage. And he's retired from the session. On circuits, watch out for the Aston Martin. Looks like she'll be far enough behind. Not be affected. The car get pulled off quite quickly and out of the way nicely. So Sant does not get his lap ruined. I think it's only him left to do a lap now. Lomelin's lap is ruined. Sant's lap is the only one left. It's always difficult, this corner is. Always a challenge. It's even an improvement in this lap, so you can get into the 48s. Well, he's 2.5 seconds up, so that's a lot more improvement than I was expecting. So, but he's going to be able to get Papa Devils, who is just over 3 seconds faster on the set of mediums. My mate managed to join back in just before the qualifying ends. It's currently sitting in P5 as McLaren's sitting off the circuit, out of the way. Sant comes around the last chicane, bus stop chicane. The eyes open towards the line. Can he beat Papa Devils? He does by just under a tenth. Sorry, just over the 10th. So that is it. It's just slowly. He actually is on the lap here. He's 7 tenths up, so you can probably get a Vita here if he gets this last chicane correct. He goes this, he gets P10. It doesn't mean though you will start on those tyres. That's the only negative about that. But here is your qualifying results for the race. You got Krago on pole position here, but might be expecting maybe a qualifying ban for next race because of that incident. We'll see. The students have to investigate that after the race. Viper will be P2, Young P3, so it's a full-on British top 3, and then we've got Kazakh in 4th after that collision with Cargo's AI. Memo in 5th, where you can get back into the lobby or not. Facitas and Sensor, both on mediums, in 6th and 7th, has been a relatively spread out grid, it says. Hybrid 8th, Pastel 9th, Loman 10th, Pirlo 11th, Bafita Del 12th, Santa 13th, Papadel 14th, and Maldi with no lap time, down in P15. Been told it's a dry race today, so no rain, just like the last 2 races. But we're setting off. Mama's trying to manage to get back in again. Whether he can stay in is another question, as they're all ready up to go. Obviously, choose their tyre compounds, especially the ones at the back 5. Maybe they want to start on the set of mediums. Do you all the strategy? Up to then. It says pit shot strategy. Obviously, the game doesn't like doing soft and mediums on the graph, but it's about lap 9, I think, for set soft, for set mediums on the softs. Don't crash on the formation up, guys. Set parallels on the same mediums. Mardy's on the same mediums. Papadel's and Santa Mavita all on a set of softs. Be interesting to see. Obviously, we said no Mazepin, so hopefully this means that Mazepin's not going to fly away. I think with the sort of track it is, it's more of a driver's track, I'd say. I think Mazepin would just blast away from this circuit, to be honest. It's one of those tracks where I think Mazepin will just fly away. Where everyone else tends to struggle. And Maldi's after session. Maldi's internet's come to haunt him. It's come to haunt him. I can't invite him to the game. Why is not allowing me to invite him to the game? get why he's not allowing to invite people to the game. Can't invite him through that way either. Can't send him an invite. Why can't I send anyone an invite? 9 it says, why I can't send invites. Don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm hoping Cargo can sort it out and they're party with each other. But I can't send Maldi an invite. There he is back in. I think he can join for it, but for some reason I can't invite anyone. I don't know why. Memo's obviously not able to get in his car if he's able to join back in yet. Kazakhs actually launched it. Viper being disqualified and Young being a collision between the two drivers. They were restrained formation analysis. This is all now finally getting to grid slots. It's been the longest formation lap ever in the world. Not really a burnout that was. It wasn't really a burnout, more just a slight rev. Bessie the last car to line up on the grid and try and get his car controlled as early as possible. Could be another glitch where you just suddenly go onto somebody else's car, but it's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights for the Tier 3 Belgian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. It's a very quick start for the lights, and Krager seems to get a decent start with Vipers alongside him into turn 1, alongside. Krager has the inside line, got an Alpine up the inside of Krazak, as Krazak's got around the outside up to P3. There's a fly off the circuit, that's Memo. There's been a collision to the back here. And Memo and Maldi, he's all the back here. I'm not sure if he's damage or something, but he's all at the back here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Memo's left the session again. Maldi's not in his car. Maldi's left the session again. I don't know what else I can do about that. But I need to stay on that one here. We've got Kazakh side by side with Young. STB managed to join back in again. But while around the outside, but the inside might be better here. But the outside might work actually for the two drivers. We've got the side by side still as Young's going to force his way through. But as they try and squeeze their way through, they can't seem to find a way through each other. But oh, there's going to be a clash. Kazakh's gone around outside, but he's checked steady by doing so. And he might get a warning for that. But he's got the position done on Young nonetheless, even though it shouldn't be allowed. There's a bit of a glitch here. Sensol's following very close to the back of Fasitas here. Up the inside, no, he decides back out of it. Into the bus up chicane. As Viper leads the way, he's got the position done on Krago. Not sure when that happened. Oh, what sort of, I don't know what that turning was by Krago there. Very weird line. But it's a lot closer now. No separations in the grid so far. Krago now following very closely here. He's got a brilliant run through Redgon. Viper's already got a penalty. And Krago used some of the overtake mode to get past Viper. Viper's just holding on to his ES for now. Saving it. There's yellow flags, and it's now Alpine, it's Papa Devils. Maldi's finally back into his car, but Papa Devils is now out of this race with no front wing. Maldi's now back in this race, he's finally managed to get back into his car. He can now chase after the pack on those set of mediums. That's if he doesn't miss the apex. Now, Cargo has the lead over Viper again. Kazakh's holding off in P3. Young chase after the McLaren still in P4. There's more yellow flags. Papa levels, I think. There's no front wing. I think that's just for. Oh, emphasis has gone wide, but Sentinel's not close enough to make any moves on him. I think they're being very careful with these curbs, I think. They've been very deadly the last couple of races. And they're looking to keep their car on the track, keep instant free. No gaps for the top three for the moment. Sant looking a bit close to Matador here. Sant actually going, I thought Matador would have pulled away a little bit from Sant here, but Sant's got some decent race pace. One normally has. Actually keeping up with the pack here, kinda. Too far behind to make a move. Cargo sets fast up of the race. Never mind that. Facitas on the same mediums sets fast up of the race. But Facitas looking very quick now. DRS is now enabled. So KTM Viper's going to be looking. He's looking at his lips right now. The gap's 0.6 of a second. Coming up Eau Rouge and now Rajon. Now, Cargo's going to be sitting duck here. DRS Viper. Cargo's just holds inside, he holds off for now, but he's used a lot of overtake by doing so. And now it's just going to back up this grid a little bit more. Hybrid is that's another wide corner. That's going to be another warning. Vitas just struggling to keep up now. Matador is still fighting with his Spanish teammates. Matador's run a bit wide, but it seems harder for now. Maldi's just trying to catch up to this back of this grid here. Is that Maldi's? Is that Papadopoulos' second pit stop? Swear. I feel like he's right. It should have been in the pit lane about 5 years ago. And Cargo's managed to pull a second gap, which is crucial. Oh, and it's been a collision. I swear I heard some sort of contact. Don't know, but I heard some contact. Something scraping against a barrier. Oh, some gravel. Oh, just gone to memo. I just didn't seem to get the memo of staying out the barriers. Don't want to be getting damage. This early on in the race is going to be deadly if you do. Seems to go away with it. Cargo is fast after the race after that very good second sector. Pulled about second gap. She needs a good turn one. And keep Viper at bay. She seems to has done. 1.1 is the second gap. Viper's using some overtake mode. Just try and get the gap down, but it's a bit too late. Cargo's kept it out of DRS now. Kazak's going to look very juicy now, but Viper's going to look very vulnerable. That's closing, it's closing, it's closing, it's closing, it's going for the move. He's gone flying past Alfa Romeo and he's got the move done. Up into the corners. And through he goes, up to P2, the Russian. In the McLaren. And there's been some fighting going here. Got Sant, it's got past Matador. Memo has got past Pirelot. And Maldi's now closing up on the back of this grid here. Why does it look like Maldi's drawing his own front wing damage? That's what it looks like right now. I'm getting easy on the mediums, the heavy fuel. Oh, how many times is he going to go wide? And he's getting away with warnings right now. It's got 1.1 seconds up on his lap here. Using an overtake to do so, but it's closed up on Cargo here. Cargo's definitely got more pace than Viper. Viper always seems to struggle in the race for some reason. It's good in qualifying, but it doesn't quite have the pace of the race. It always seems to lose it. Now Cargo's got a new battle to fight. Does the pin hitting again, then you get lapped onto some hard. They're going to be right in the middle of this group. Facitas in the pits. Does he have damage? There's damage in that Red Bull, unfortunately, it looks like. On the set hard as he goes, they'll take him to the end of the race. Maldi's now catching up to the back of these drivers here. Missing the apex, just doesn't look like he's going to get DRS this lap. Starting making inroads here, but okay, he's on the mediums, so Oh, Cargo going side by side here. And Cargo still goes overtake enabled. So he needs to be cautious of that, and he's got the move done. Got past Kazakh, because just have Kazakh have damage, because he did look like a bit understeer through that. Nah, that's good. So Kazakh Cargo, not sure how the battle unfolded earlier, but Cargo's kept it for now, the lead. Over Kazakh. Viper's now dropped to P4, he's struggling a lot in this race. Sentinel's the next one to overtake him. Reminds me of SLR Sem from a few seasons ago. SLR Sem, not Semi-K, SLR Sem, two different people. Oh, and Rafita's going wide and Sans followed him. The SLR Sem, he was leading this race, Tier 7, Season 17 race, Tier 2. And he dropped down to pretty much last by half of the race. And Papadopoulos retired at Blanchimont. That's not a crash place you want to crash. This is a safety car, doesn't look like it. No safety car. Maldi's finally got on the back of this grid here. That's trying to get some overtaking move done. Oh, he's going to move done. Should be an easy move actually in the end. Oh, Cargo's just sticking on the inside. Oh, it's going to be aggressive. Kazakh's pushed him off the circuit. Oh, and that's a bit cheeky. Cargo. Oh no, Cargo. You know better than that. You know you can't just steam it inside like that. You're guaranteed a collision if you do that. As soon as you do that, you're basically asking the driver to turn in on you. And that's Cargo. Unfortunately, that separate instant of the other one, unfortunately that's Cargo's fault, but it's kind of for pushing him wide. I don't think he should have done that, but Cargo shouldn't just steamroll it inside like that in a high-speed corner. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Matador's now lost 2 positions to Maldi and Pirolo. Rafita Boston here. Rafita's a bit low on ERS, that's why he's using it through the corners. Oh, Memo's not quite getting the memo of traction right now. Maldi's looking a bit tasty. He's just saved his ERS up. But Pirlo's also using it. Maldi's turned his off. They both turned theirs off. Oh, a bit of a lift from Maldi, a bit of a scare there. Doesn't want to take it flat out. So, flags. Be careful here. Which was an instance. Maldi's going to go around the outside of the bottom chicane. Oh, it might be the touch there. I'm not sure. Maldi does make his way through. And Pirlo has DRS, same as Maldi there. But Maldi needs to catch half a tenth just to keep within DRS here of Vita. He does. He keeps it within 1 second of Vita, which is crucial. Kazakh has now pulled away. Nicey nice. Oh man, he's gaining a lot from Avita here. Avita's got no ERS to play with. Around outside both of them go, and Plant's able to take a move on Avita. Avita's lost up to 2 places in one straight. That's what the problem is when you have the ERS at low straight line speed. He's up into P10s, up into the points on those medium tyres. Maldi's going to have to go long. And Viper's just dropping off. I think Viper's got damage. He's got no front wing. He's got end plate damage. So Viper's race has just gone from worse to crap. And now even Sans overtaking him. And now Memo's the next one to get past him. And Maldi's also the next one to follow after that. Pirlo will also be involved in this as well as Mariner gets passed by Viper. Yeah, next there's no position gains for all these drivers here. Pirlo will be next, so be careful. That front wing right end plate is broken. So that's hurting a lot of downforce, unfortunately, in this game. As car goes to the pits, very early stop. Just doesn't think these tyres will last to about that 8-9 for a set of hards. I think this might be a set of hards here for the Williams driver. The mediums I don't think can go that far. Oh no, it looks like a set of mediums. It is a set of mediums, so whether they can go that long, I don't know. It should be able to. Seems a bit earlier than I was expecting. Now made onto a set of hards. All out from there goes his throat. It's a set of mediums. So it's a bit of a crossover period. Maldi's got past Animal Hybrid. I think Animal Hybrid made a mistake. He has. So Maldi's up to P6 here now. After all of this. But he's lost position to Sant again. So what happened there? I think Maldi must have got affected in that battle. Must have got slowed down or somewhat. Right, he's going to have to get moved back past Sant again. And getting himself back into P5. Very, very close to the back of his Alpha. This is mine here. Not really an overtaking place, unfortunately. Maldi might have to wait until the bottom chicane, but if it does that, you need to make sure he's close enough to that Haas so he gets DRS off it. At the same time, he needs to hope Sant has a good sector to keep that in play. Kazak's just keeping ahead of Sentinel. Now Kazak pits, Sentinel keeps going. Young carries on, Sentinel's on the medium, so he will continue on. Default. Maldi looking to make a move here on Sant. Sant's not having any of it. Maldi's going to outbrake him into the bus-up chicane. Oh, and I think he's cut him off. Maldi's outbroken himself. And I think that might be a bit aggressive there by Maldi, but he's got the move done. As he overtakes these cars that are coming out of the pits. This might come ahead of Kazak. Let's see. That's how far behind Maldi is. Maldi's actually run wide at the hairpin. Kazak's come out ahead of Maldi on a set of mediums. So Maldi's a pit stop behind these guys in the lead. That's how far behind Maldi is. That's how much he's losing his track. That just attracts field spread. Fortunately, Maldi doesn't have DRS, and unfortunately, it's going to be an easy move for Sant. I don't think Maldi would ever have thought you get overtaken by Sant 3 times this race. Oh, and Sant hits the apex there, and hits the curb, and it's inside of his car. I think Maldi could do with a bit more downforce. Not gonna lie, he's run wide. Maldi needs to get ahead down the Kemmel straight and then pull it through the corners, but you can't do that. Yeah, flags. The collision is massive 35% out of the race at the com. It doesn't look like it's going to be a safety car. Viper is now out of the session. Oh, and Zonga's almost spun in the pit lane. Telling me those tyres are worn out. Kazak's just pulled away a gap here. Sant's in the pits, so Maldi would get DRS. Oh, did Sant clash the barriers? Kyro's fighting with Citas. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, no, Pirlo's making a move, but that's very audacious. Never going to make that move stick. Now, Cargo now fighting with the Red Bull. Red Bull's on hot, warm, slower, hard tyres. Cargo's looking for last. Not a line take for Citas. Citas is on the back foot here. DRS enabled for Cargo. Move done. Easy move. Didn't have to use too much overtake in the end. Up at the P5. Got Maldi next. Hasn't yet to pit. And there's one yellow flags. And Cargo's out. He's just done a great move and he's now out. It's now a safety car. And that's just played superbly into Sentinels and give Maldi's hands. Set Softs could go to the end here. There's a safety car here at Belgium. Yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. And unfortunately, it's the pole position. The pole man. Cargo, unfortunately, looks like he's binned it. Probably out of the car after the overtake. And I think he's just binned it on the corner. I think what's happened is he's binned it in the left-hander and he's speared off into that barrier that sits on the left-hand side of the circuit. Sentinel's got a pit. He's pretty much no choice. It's either the hards or the softs, but I think he just has to go for the softs and just hope for the stick out to the end to set a soft for Sentinel. Sentinel might come back out in the lead here. He will. Surely he will. He's not going to have any Delta coming out of the pit lane. Or because it has to stick to a Delta here. And Sentinel comes out in the lead on a set of softs. Let's see what tyres Maldi goes on. It's a set of softs, yeah. Not too surprised. Out it comes. Just coming out behind of Aston Martin. Just pulls in the pits in front of him. This is just giving Maldi a bit of a give him a bit more track position compared to last time. It should come out of this ahead of his Aston Martin. I'm not sure about the Red Bull though. Felicitas has just come out behind the Haas. Both of them have just come out behind Loman, unfortunately. It's not much you could have done, to be honest. I think Loman had no Delta, because as soon as the leader catches up to the safety car, the Delta goes. And I think if the leaders never caught up to the safety car, I think Maldi would have stayed ahead of Loman. But unfortunately, the Delta went away and Loman could push and gain that couple of tenths that he needed, a couple of seconds that he needed to stay ahead. But Maldi's now up into P5 in the juice position here. The safety car is probably a short one. Just keeping nice and clean on these tyres. He's got to be careful on these tyres here. These softs are they're not too durable. They can do about 10, 11, 12 laps, but they'll be very worn towards the end. But yeah, coming off the back of the grid here. Sentinel leads on a fresh set of softs here. Kazakh behind on the same mediums. Young set behind as well. Also on the same mediums as only Lomelin. Maldi Felicitas now on a set of softs. Now we've got a chance of leading this race. I'll say I don't know why I said lead the race. I'm a bit tired here. Good chance to gain some positions. Sentinel does have a penalty though, so that's going to play big into Sentinel's race, whether he can still win this race or not. Just don't crash into the safety car. Sap lap of the safety car. Rafita's in. It's going very slowly. Presume for a set of softs. Yep, and the Ferrari's also in as well. But weird the Ferrari being behind after the Alpine. A bit strange. Sentinel's not giving the safety car any break. Wants it to go faster. Oh, I don't like this. Felicitas to lag here. Sen's still in a good position in the P7. Sen's driven quite a good race. Sen's actually driven pretty well. He's had a good fight. He's been fighting with Maldi. Sam's been driving pretty well today. Not gonna lie, he's normally hanging around the back of the grids with Papa Devils and Matador, but Sam's been constantly fighting with the midfield group. He actually has decent pace around here, especially in the race. Qualifying wasn't so good, but he's got some decent race pace. He's on the same mediums. I've done one lap on him. He's on for a decent result here. He hasn't got any penalties, so he's got that to take into as well. So it's all going pretty dandy for Sant, if I'll say myself. And Hyper just overtook Memo under the safety car. I don't know what's going on. Safety car hopefully should be in this lap. Hopefully we should have that bug where the safety car stayed out for 6 laps. Safety car should be in this lap, according to my calculations. Yes it is, there we go. Now warming those tyres up, because we are going to go back to racing. Here at the circuit Francorchamps in Tier 3. Starting to go into that closing stages of the season. With you've got Monza after this next week. STB anniversary, 8 years. Don't forget that. And after that we've got USA, then Mexico. He's gone already. Oh, he's slowed down. You can't do that. You can't accelerate and slow down. That might be, I have to put a warning out there for that. You can't accelerate and then slam on the brakes. They might have to put a warning out for that. You can't do that. Because they're going to catch everyone else behind. Everyone thinks it's going to speed up, but actually they haven't gone yet. So Central now goes, I need to put a report out for that. You can't accelerate and slam the brakes down. It must be a consistent speed. You weave as much as you want, as long as you just don't start accelerating and braking considerably. So that's now trying to chase after him. Maldi's only making a move on Lomelin here. And he's got the move done. Oh no, he's just pinched himself in the apex, and Vasitas just flew around the outside of him as well. I would have think Maldi would have hoped that Vasitas would have got hold up a little bit, but it seems to be the case. Maldi now needs to chase after these leaders. This is Maldi's chance to win here. This is one and only chance now. He's on the right tyres to do it. He's not getting any penalties yet. So, got many things, factors to go into. Hybrids is just getting multiple penalties right now. Left, right and centre. Anyway, Central now flies away. He's going to use that soft tyres to his advantage here. Should be at least half a second a lap faster. He needs to use his tyres while they're still fresh, so when the deep start to wear out, he's got the gap to hold on. Don't forget he's got the penalty as well. Yep, because that can Young still get penalties, but you don't know that. He might hold off for the rest of the race with no more warnings. He's chasing the back of Kazakh. Unable to just keep up with the soft runner of Central here. Maldi will continue to try and chase after him, with Vasitas constantly pressurising him. Kirillov picked up a penalty, and now Sant and Memo going side by side. There's been a wheel bang here, and Sant looks like he's backed out here, but oh yeah, Memo gets past on those freshest softs. That leaves the position of my eyes now. Chase after Lomelin. Apparently, if it's seconds to purple third sector, I'm not sure about that. Lomelin doing some slipstream, breaking the slipstream here. Not really a place you want to do it. Chase after him now in that slipstream. No DRS yet for another lap. I think I might just do this purely on the ice here. Lomelin is not trying to defend it considerably. He's using the move overtake himself now. And Lomelin gets through on Lomelin. For the Ferraris now up to P6. Carry does his counter penalty. Maldi not really catching up to these guys here. Saying that, I think they just lost a bit of time through that. So continues to build a gap here on those soft tyres. Oh no, because I make a mistake. And Young's gone into the side of him, and because Young is round, Maldi goes past him. That promotes Maldi's position as the smallest touch. It's almost like a side pod glitch. The way the contact just works, I had the exact same issue. What else did happen? A little very similar side pod clash. Oh, there's a Ferrari in the barriers. That's Memo. Memo's also out. Front wing is gone. But yeah, I mean, I sure reminded me of that Young collision. Ran me over the race in Brazil for FDE, and outside turn 1, slight touch, and you just go round. So weird how it does that. It's almost like a side pod glitch. But then you fix it and your one that gets effective on it, and that's the outside car. But now he's now on the chase after Kazakh. Not quite in DRS here. He is. He's just got a DRS here, and that's crucial for Vasitas. Right behind him, Vasitas is using a lot of DRS here. And Maldi's not using any overtake to defend. He's letting Vasitas breeze past him here. Maybe he thinks Vasitas is faster. Oh, just that curb is so dodgy. It's not quite an auto-spin curb, but he just unsettles the car. Maybe Maldi just wants to save some ERS for now. Not a great line there for Kazakh, to be honest. Pirilov's not at a session. I'm going to try and invite him back in, but I'm surprised if he didn't, to be honest. I can't invite anyone to the game. I can't do it. It won't allow me. I don't know why. Steelhead's got another penalty. Not going to help him in this podium fight here. We've got Hybrid and Young going side by side now. Young, after that collision with one McLaren, he's now fighting another McLaren. So not good. Not good for the Alpine driver. Oh! Santis round. In a collision, and then Hybrid's also round. What's going on there? That's the fastest lap of the race. Sant's got damage now. Seems to be the end of his race, unfortunately. Sant's been driving pretty well this race, to be honest. Unfortunate. Now, Vasitas is on over the back of Maldi. And Hybrid, I think, has just binned it at Blanchimont. That's another corner cut by Vasitas here. Can't keep doing that. Maldi's got DRS. Just going to use that to catch up to the grid here. Hybrid is now out, retired from the session. Sant is also in the pits for a set of softs with 6 laps to go after this lap. Alright, looking next is Kazakh to overtake. Where is pace going? Maldi's up for P2 at least. He just needs to catch up to Sentinel. Maybe then Maldi could be on to his victory here. It's not out of the equation yet. It just depends on how Sentinel's late goes and how many penalties he gets. Whether Maldi gets any penalties himself, because that gets away with these warnings here. Many times we've seen him go wide. Maldi needs to save his ERS here. He's using a lot of overtake. He's just doing this just to catch up here. Just gain some time down there. Don't overtake it to here, because then you won't have DRS. No, Maldi, you'll get me the move anyway. Around the outside, into the Boss chicane, he's gone wide. Oh, it's going to be compromised here. Maldi will get DRS out of here, but he's just slowing each other down by doing this. Don't any problem with doing this. Yes, I think it's the fast lap of the race. He did cut a couple of corners. Maldi now overtaking DRS. Down the straight. Oh man, it's like a not great line, but it's kept it clean. In terms of warnings, DRS enabled, not using any overtake, it's just going to do pure slipstream here. Look at that, even just DRS, he's breezed past. Maldi's using some lower wings here to help him breeze past there. And he's still got soft tyres to help him through these corners. Maldi's now got to chase after Vasitas. He's lost 3 seconds through that Red Bull just by blasting with Kazakh. So it's hurt him a lot, Maldi, losing that position and having to fight the McLaren. Maldi needs to find that gap. Now Young and Memo are now fighting each other through Eau Rouge. Now soft positions are switching. Now DRS enabled for one of them. Nope, neither of them have got DRS. Lovely. Young is using more overtake here. He's got some to use. Around the outside, I want a better camera angle on this. Oh, and there's been contact. Memo's had a little bit of a moment. And he's got the position done, Young has. On the Ferrari of Memo. Memo has to weave and snap his way through down to P9. Oh, another moment coming out of No Name. And that's that move done. Just 2 Aston into the back there. Maldi's lost half a second this lap to Felicitas. So Maldi needs to get some consistency in. Keeps overshooting these corners, it's not helping him. He's using racing line. Use the braking line to help you brake properly. Now Maldi's now into the threat from Kazakh now. Extra 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour this McLaren's getting. Nothing enough to really close up in the Mercedes here. Felicitas has just pulled away from Maldi here. Felicitas is now closing up on Sentinel at a pretty quick pace. Maldi, unfortunately, does not have any pace to keep up with these cars in front of him. I think Maldi's just running a bit too low downforce, I think. Oh, show flags! And that's Felicitas. This is round, he's not got any damage, but it does. He has a lot. The only damage he's got is emotional damage, and that's dropped him down to 4th place and possibly some hot rear tyres. So he's got to find all that time all over again, and there's only 4 laps to go now at the end of this lap, because that continues to fight on. How many penalties does Sentinel have? I think only 1. But even if Sentinel did have 2, I think he could still pull that gap on Maldi. Now, because that slipstream DRS and ERS down there straight. Another corner cut, there's another time penalty for Kazakh. Oh, Kazakh nearly loses rear end, so does Maldi. Down straight, yeah, it came more straight now for Kazakh. DRS and slipstream and ERS, Maldi's going to breeze past him. Maldi has to concede position. So even with low downforce, you can still go for taking him down the straight pretty easily. Oh, and there's been a tap. Oh, Maldi lost the rear end, he's caught it. And Felicitas has barged his way through, and Maldi's not going to have any of that. But does Maldi have the grip to do so? I don't think he does. Felicitas is just so much more confident. But Felicitas is just getting warnings left, right and centre for taking those lines. I think Maldi might have to settle for a potential P2 here. He just needs to stay with these 2 cars and not get any penalties, and he's on for a decent P2. So I think that's the minimum that Maldi can get now. And also the maximum. Got a little midfield here, Phil fight here. Vita and Matador. As Sant looks to get past Pirlo here. It's the fight for the wooden spoon. And through Sant goes a lot better on his overtake. DRS and slipstream as well also is helping. Matador trying to chase after the Vita here. Maldi just hanging on to the back of these 2 right now. Maldi just doesn't have quite the pace, and his tyres are starting to go off, I think, as well. Just kept it in DRS as well, that's the most important thing for Maldi. So Felicitas gets through on Kazakh. Felicitas has just obviously got more pace. No soft tyres, just working better than those mediums right now. But every lap those mediums are slowly coming to play, but I think those softs are just still a bit quicker right now. And Maldi's now struggling to keep within DRS here. Felicitas has picked up another penalty. I think that's his 3rd of maybe 4th penalty now. Oh, Maldi's missing the apexes here, not good. He's lost another couple of tenths through that corner alone. And missed the apex as well. He's taking too much speed into these corners and he's not getting the front end in. Oh, never mind the front end, he's not getting the rear end either. Heart in mouth situation. Maldi almost binning it. Through that fast right-hander. That's definitely taking him out of DRS range now. Taking in a very tight line for the end. Because he has taken his own racing line now. He's got his own circuit layout. Centre looks like he's now getting away with this now. He's now pulling away. I think he's still just got the one penalty. And he's now Facilitas is low on penalty, low on ERS here. Because that's got quite a bit more. He's just got nothing to apply for this. Easy move. DRS is all he needs. Facilitas is low on ERS here. He's losing power. It's derating down the straights. This looks like she's starting to struggle a little bit now. Mediums look like they're just staying in play for a little bit longer. Oh, they just needs to hang on here. That's all he needs to do. Just hang on. Don't make any big mistakes. Do not make any penalties. As these battle for this F1X drivers. The teams battle away. It looks like quite a boring race on the Lonely side right now at the moment. Trundling around with himself on the same mediums, 19 seconds behind Mounty, 5.5 seconds ahead of Matador. Then Young's had a real action-packed race. He's pitted for a set of softs. Talk about pit for set of softs. There's a Mercedes, and Maldi's binned it. SC Maldi, I just said he lost the rear end through that corner last time, and he's gone and done it, and he's got wing damage. Maldi can pit. But anything is, he'll lose the position to Lomelin. Lomelin, I think Maldi, best thing to do to Maldi is just stay out. If he pits now, he'll lose too much time. Maldi's gone straight on. I don't think he's happy. He's going to continue with that damage, but he's going to watch out for Lomelin. Maldi has now cost himself a podium. I don't know how he's binned it out of that corner. It's twice now he's done that. You've got to be steady with that front wing. You need to treat it like you're driving a road car. The car will not stick through the corners as you expect it would be. Might still be flat up here. Bit of a lift. But Facilitas is now unable to get any moves taken done. I think the softs are just starting to die. Probably not helping any softs are probably getting towards the end of their life. So it is probably partly the reason. You just need to brake a little bit earlier, turn a bit earlier, accelerate a little bit later. Horrible to watch. Facilitas has got nothing to ask for either. Facilitas has got too many penalties. Even that many penalties, Maldi's just constantly losing time right now. Maldi's picking up a penalty because of that. Which means now Maldi is under threat now from Lomelin because of that. Because every single second, Lomelin is gaining time on Maldi here. Especially with a section of track where it's very high speed. He's just trying to fucking get the car around. He's can't oversteer now. He's got too much understeer in the car. Sentinel will come across the line. He will win the Belgian Grand Prix if he has the penalties. Kraszak will cross the penalty line P2. Facilitas will finish 10 seconds behind because all of that just picks up another penalty towards the end. Maldi would be disappointed. He'd be so disappointed that he lost a potential P2 here at Belgium. He will cross the line, he will carry on, he will still get a P4. But he's lost a lot of points for this race. He could have got so much better. But fortunately, he had that moment the lap before. So he knows that the car is not going to stick very well for that corner. And he's gone to that corner exactly the same. And then he has actually lost it this time. So Maldi didn't decide to be actually being a bit more cautious through there. If he saw that from last time. And he didn't do that, and he just carried on going and took the corner exactly the same, and it finally did bite him. Just waiting for Sant and Pirlo to finish now. Sam crosses the line, P10, he'll pick up the last point position. Pirlo, fortunately, but then Cart not picking up any points today from the classifications. But yeah, I mean, the race was actually right. I mean, it was a bit separated towards the end for sure, but honestly, how is Memo doing donuts? He's crossed the line and he's still doing donuts. I don't know what's going on. Don't ask me what that was. I mean, he's finished. She shouldn't have control of his car. Rather than go to Etsy Maldi. Well, I think my driver do go. I'll have to go for Sentinel. But Sentinel just drive through that field very nicely. He got lucky with the safety car, but he pulled away nicely. He didn't make any mistakes, and I think that's what separated him from everyone else. He just didn't make any mistakes. Kazak made multiple. He made his own mistakes. Fasitas got too many penalties. Still managed to get a P3. Even though Mardi with that mistake cost him that. He shouldn't really. If Mardi held on, Mardi would have been the podium for sure. And here is your finishing positions here. Remember, got 26 seconds of penalties. Sensor would be P1 from 7th on the grid. Kazak could be P2. Fasitas P3. 12 seconds of penalties. Mardi could have easily got at least P3 this race, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Mardi made a mistake in that last sector. He got damage and a penalty for it. Down in P4 in the end. Lemlin will be P5. We can give you ready to be happy with that. Matador P6. Young P7. Unfortunately, with that collision with Kazakh at that fast chicane after P1. Unfortunately, drops into P7. Rafita P8. Memo P9. Sant P10. Pirol P11. And Indines were Hybrid, Cargo, Viper, and Papa Devils. And that is your race today. I am going to end the stream because I am very tired. I'm going to end it there. I don't think Kazak really speaks in English. Also, Senson Fasitas is a bit. I don't think he speaks English either. So I'm just going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please return. Please return for next week. Maldi won't be here, unfortunately, so we'll see how we can go without him. But it is the anniversary of STB, 8 years and 20 seasons. So come back with us for next week for Monza. Return to the Combox with just me for Tier 1. Thank you very much, and goodbye.